Number 5, Raina sells costume jewelry. She sells a necklace for $55.30. The sales tax is 7% of the sale price. So how much is the sales tax on the necklace? We just have to find percent of a number. Remember, of means to multiply. Percent we have to change to a decimal. So 7% as a decimal is 1, 2 is 0.07. It's 7 out of 100. We're going to multiply 700 times the necklace price of $55.30. There is 4 decimal places in that. So you would do 55.30 times 0.07. Multiply it out. Bring your decimals back in. 55. 55.30 times 0.07 is, you end up with 3.871, but it's money, and we don't have a thousandths place in money, so it would just be $3.87 of tax. The question is only asking for the tax, so you do not have to add that onto the price of the necklace. Number 6, a savings account earns 3.2% interest per year. If $745 is deposited and no withdrawals are made during 1 year, how much interest will be earned after 1 year? You actually have 2 options on this. We're just finding percent, 3.2% of $745. But we might as well go over the interest thing here. So the principal, I equals PRT, interest equals principal times rate times time. So it's asking for us to find the interest. The principal, remember, that just means the original amount. So that was $745 was the original amount. We're going to multiply that times the rate. The rate is 3.2%. Remember, we have to make that as a decimal once, twice. So it is 0.032. 0.032. And then multiply that by the time. It says 1 year. So times 1. That will tell us how much interest there is. So in all honesty, if we're multiplying it at the end by 1, we really don't have to do that, right? We don't have to worry about that. We can just do 745 times 0.032. 745 times 0.032. And that is 23 and 84 hundredths. But it is money, so it's actually $23.84. Don't let substitution fool you. Literally, you take the capital letter P out and you put 745. Don't let that fool you, okay? It's just like if I was absent, somebody would take my place. No big deal. Number 7, the Spanish club at a middle school increased from 52 students to 68 in 1 school year. That's a little bit of typo there. In 1 school year. What is the percent of increase? So it literally tells you right there what is the percent. So that's what we're finding. We're finding this percent right here. The original amount in the Spanish club was 52. And how much did it change? Well, it went from 52 to 68. So you just have to subtract. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. So it changed by a total of 16 students. Cross multiply and divide. 16 times 1 is 16. 2 zeros, 1,600. So we would do 1,600 divided by the number that's on the outside divided by 52, which I could do on there for you, but I'm going to use a calculator because the videos are short on time. 1,600 divided by 52 is 30.769. So we would round that up to 30.77. 30.77. If it said round to the nearest percent, then you would actually round it up to 31. So you just have to read and turn that brain on of yours. Okay? All right, let's go to the next page. Number 8. Good gosh, that looks like a huge problem, right? In Kaylee's monthly budget, each category is assigned a certain percentage of her monthly income. Kaylee's monthly income is $3,150. And it gives us percent for all of her stuff. So if we wanted to find out how much money she actually does save, we could just multiply 3,150 times 0.09%. But let's look at the bottom first, right? Let's see what the question's actually asking. Let's not go crazy here. What statement is supported by the information in the table? A. Kaylee budgets $819 for her utilities, car payment, and gasoline. Gasoline, car payment. All right. There you go. So we've got some work to do. Okay. All right. So I have a question, and I realize that you can't answer it. But if we were to find out what 1% of 3,150 is, would that make it simpler for us to do to figure out specific percentages? Instead of constantly multiplying by 3,150, which I know that we don't want to do, could we instead just multiply it once to find out what 1% is? So that's what I want to do. I want to find out 1% of 3,150. Okay, so that's percent of a number, right? So I'm going to do that, and we can't multiply that. So what happened? There we go. So we're going to do 0.01 of means to multiply 3,150. Okay, that will tell us what 1% equals. 1%. I'm guessing it's 3,150. That's what I'm guessing. 3,150 times 0.01. Yeah, $31.50. Okay, that's 1%. 1% equals 31.50. Right. So now we can actually go through and we don't have to multiply by 3,150 anymore, because we know that 1% is 3,150. Definitely used the wrong color down there. There. All right. 1%, sorry, golly, is $31.50. There we go. All right, so it says Kaylee budgets $819 for her utilities, car payment, and gasoline. So if 1% is $31.50, then 9%, we could just do 9 times $31.50. For her apartment rent, we could do 31 times $31.50. To find out how much her cell phone is, we could just multiply it times $31.50, because we know that 1% is $31.50. Same thing with utilities. This is a heck of a problem. It's not that hard of a problem, it just takes a lot of work. Times $31.50. Could multiply all of them times $31.50. I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to do whatever the question's actually asking, but times $31.50 times $31.50 times $31.50. All right. So Kayla budgets $819 for her utilities, car payment, and gasoline. Utilities, car payment, gasoline. So let's multiply those and find out what it comes out to. Utilities is 7 times $31.50. It's $220.50. Her car payment is 15 times 31.50. It's $472.50. And her gasoline is 4 times 31.50. Hey, come on. 4 times 31.50 is $126. Even. Okay, so we can add all those up. 220.50, 220.50 plus 472.50 plus 126 is $819. Oh, sweet. Look at that. Love it. $819. It's got to be A. Okay, so in a nutshell, here's what I need you to understand about that problem. You're going to have one like that, right? Probably going to have one like number 10. If you can find out what 1% is, it'll save you time. Okay, don't go multiplying huge numbers if you don't have to the whole time. All right? And it's not a hard problem. It's just a long problem. So just take your time on it. Find out what 1% is. Make it easier on yourself. And go from there. You could also estimate. Right? We also could have added up the percent of utilities and the percent of car payment and the percent of gasoline and then found out what that is. There's a lot of ways to do it. Okay? So you're a human being. You were gifted with a brain when you were born. So use that brain. Using your brain doesn't mean, oh, I did it in my head. That doesn't work. Come on. We know that. All right, just do the best you can. All right, we'll finish it up on the next video.